Many of us today are going through hard seasons. And when life gets difficult, it's tempting to give up on our dreams and destiny. But I want to remind you that hard seasons are very much a part of God's divine plan for your life. Easy and fun don't always seem fruitful. In fact, some of the seasons of greatest growth and advancement come through hardship. Maybe you've been through or are living through your own storm, but most people don't know how to benefit from their struggles. They don't learn to harvest their hurts or grow from their losses. Mature believers, however, do. They grow through adversity. If you don't, instead of becoming better, you'll become bitter. And God won't be able to use you as He desires. Trust Him in difficult situations. Even when everything seems to be falling apart, if you put your faith in the Lord, you can experience breakthrough and witness His miraculous work. Even when you feel and see nothing, believe by faith that God is up to something. The struggle is a setup. Think of Joseph. He was falsely accused and imprisoned for 13 years. Psalm 105:18 says, "They bruised his feet with shackles. His neck was put in irons. His soul entered into that iron." This verse is so powerful. It shows that something was forged within Joseph during that dark time. His perseverance, prayer life, and faith grew. Sometimes only in hard places do we gain what we need spiritually. This truth is hard to celebrate, but there's hope in knowing that God is working behind the scenes. Though it may be difficult, God is preparing you for something greater. Even if life seems like a demolition site, God is refining you through the mess. Everything you're facing is preparing you for what you've asked Him for. Stop worrying about the process, it's necessary. You may not understand it now, but on the other side, you'll see why it had to happen, and you'll be at peace with it. God is still processing you. He's not done with you yet. I often see people who go through hardship and make the mistake of running away from God. They get mad at Him, disappointed in the situation, and distance themselves from Him. But I would ask, if you run from God, who will you run to? Who loves you like He does? Who else has the power to heal you and help you? Don't run from God, run to Him. Romans chapter 8 verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." It doesn't say some things, but all things. Even the painful and hard moments can be used for good. You have a purpose, a plan specifically shaped by God, and even the difficulties are part of that plan. God uses different methods to carry out His purpose. Sometimes things come easily and quickly, but other times they come through hardship. Hard seasons are not preferred method, but they are necessary. They shape us and make us ready for what lies ahead. So while some things in life aren't good, like losing a job, going through a divorce, or suffering a miscarriage, when you put them in God's hand, He works them together for good. If it's not good yet, then that means God's not done. He's still working, even when you can't see it. Sometimes you only realize later how God was moving all along. In the meantime, trust Him. Even when you don't understand what He's doing, you know His heart. You know He's faithful, loving, and that He has a plan for your life. Think of it like a seed. Every one of us has seeds, dreams, and potential that need to grow. But a seed doesn't grow while sitting on a shelf in comfort. It has to be planted in the dirt, buried in the dark, and hard place for it to germinate and produce fruit. Same goes for our lives. Yes, there are mountaintop moments, but there are also valleys, hard, lonely, and difficult seasons, but God is working something deep within us. Don't complain if you're in a hard season. Recognize the opportunity to allow God to do His work. There's something significant He's trying to bring out of you. If you're going through some dirt, remember that the dirt is necessary for the seed to grow into all it was created to be. You might feel like you're being buried, but you're actually being planted. That's amazing, isn't it? Have you noticed that planting and burying look the same? When you plant a seed, you dig a hole, place it in, and cover it with dirt. But it's not burial, it's planting. And when you're planted, you're going to rise again. This isn't the end. So don't run from it, hide from it, or avoid it. You're not being buried, you're being planted. Honestly, the hard seasons in life have been the ones that brought the most significant growth. It wasn't the great times that matured me, it was the struggles. And while I'm not asking for hardship, I've learned to change my perspective. Now, when things are tough, I tell God, even though I feel and see nothing, I believe by faith that you're up to something. We don't pray for pain, we pray for blessings and favor, but sometimes God's favor is found in suffering. Think about how salvation came to us through the pain Jesus endured on the cross. Without His suffering, we wouldn't be saved. Often it's when we hit rock bottom and realize that God is all we have that we truly understand He's all we need. Psalm 32:8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. It doesn't promise an easy, comfortable path, but the best path, the one God has chosen for your growth, purpose, and ultimate good. Sometimes we pray for the storms to be removed, but God doesn't always take them away. Instead, He promises to walk with us through them. Trust that He's guiding you every step of the way, and remember, He's not done with you yet. God bless you.